On the 26th of August, the New York Times ran an article titled, "Republican Donors, Do You Know Where Your Money Goes?" by Juliana Glover. The article is an opinion piece decrying the state of election finance in America. In fact, she opens with, quote, "We long ago blew past any meaningful controls on political giving in American elections. Now we should focus on the rules governing political spending, which are in equally terrible shape." The article then goes on to explain how the Trump campaign is using privately held companies to hide its spending contrary to campaign finance laws. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Campaign finance might be important, but it's also boring as fuck. And to that, I say I agree. For the sake of this video, we don't care either. Not least because in our current political world, there is zero chance this gets addressed. Furthermore, nobody wants to know how many ice cream cones Joe Biden's campaign bought. And God help us all if we ever find out how many cheeseburgers the Don consumes. What we do care about is how this affects Trump's campaign, because it definitely does. So let's get to the meat. The main crux is this. The Trump campaign has provided minimal information on how billions of dollars raised in 2020 and 2024 were spent, creating a, quote, governance nightmare for donors. Specifically, in the 2020 election, $516 million out of the $780 million spent by the Trump campaign was directed to a company called American-Made Media Consultants, AMMC. AMMC is a privately held company run by various Trump family members, including Laura Trump, Eric Trump's wife, Jared Kushner, Ivanka's husband, and other Trump family members who were at various times involved in setting up and controlling AMMC. In case you didn't do the math in your head, that's 66%. Let me repeat, 66% of all money the Trump campaign spent went to a single company owned and or controlled by the Trump family. That same election, if you take the 150 largest expenditures, 132 of them went to AMMC, without itemization or explanation, using generic descriptions like, quote, placed media or online advertising. Other mysterious companies have received huge amounts too. Red Curve Solutions, another private company, has received at least $18 million from Trump's campaign and PACs, likely paying for Trump's legal bills. Launchpad Strategies, created in 2023, received almost $15 million from Trump's fundraising committees with almost nothing known about its operations or leadership. But as they say, every cloud has a silver lining. Now, am I saying that I believe that Trump's campaign is siphoning off tens of millions of dollars for the purpose of enriching themselves through self-dealing, effectively stealing honest campaign donations made by ordinary Americans to the detriment of his campaign? Well, yeah. You could say that's the whole point of the video, and we don't have to rely on Trump's political record or his business career to imagine corruption. Trump's already doing that for us. In fact, from previous reporting, we know that AMMC was set up specifically because the Trump campaign came to believe that the 2016 campaign boss, Brad Parscale, had grifted part of the $94 million paid to his little black box company, Parscale Strategy. So basically, Trump found out that our boy Brad was buying up properties and living like a baller. But nobody had any way of knowing if that money came from Trump's campaign or if he had a rich uncle die. So naturally, Trump wanted his own little black box to prevent that from ever happening again. So now we come to it. As I said, every cloud has a silver lining. Maybe we'll never know if campaign funds are being stolen. Maybe we'll never know where the money's actually going. But we do know where it's not going. It's not getting spent on advertising. From March to July, the Biden campaign outspent Trump's campaign by 3-1, and it's not getting spent on campaign infrastructure and staff. In April, Biden had 24 campaign offices in Pennsylvania, and by the end of May, they had 200 offices and 1,000 staff members in swing states. Trump opened his first office in Pennsylvania in June. That's one office in what is arguably the most important swing state. Opened in June. The silver lining is this. Even if we were to assume that AMMC wasn't set up as a vehicle for grift, and if we further assume that Trump's lack of spending on advertising and infrastructure earlier in the year was because he thought he was going to crush Biden, one thing still remains true. Trump's need to operate in the dark virtually ensures a certain level of corruption. And when the game is corruption, everyone needs a piece. In fact, everyone deserves a piece. What happens when people begin to believe that there might not be a second Trump administration? Well, there's still a tidal wave of cash to spend in the dark.